Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I create my aesthetic looking Instagram reels and how you can do the same. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are at the PC setup and we're going to be going through step number 1, which is, for me personally, is either to plan what I'm going to film in advance and then film it, or what I do is I just film me posing or me doing some exercises or whatever. I'll find an audio that's really good and then I'll be like, okay, I've got to use that audio. So what I'm going to do now is I've already got videos, quite a few videos that are decently good quality. Just gotten my files. And so I'm going to do a bit of screen sharing with you guys and show you guys what I do to find the audios I do pretty much. Sometimes I'll do in the morning, I'll go onto Instagram and I'll scroll on my feed on my fitness account for the sake of just finding audios. So if I find a good audio, then I'll save it prior. So then I have, with these 2 folders of saved audios and saved posts, I have a bunch just kind of piled there. Let me put my headphones on. And there's a few like popular ones. See if you've heard this. Everyone's heard of this. I often also like going on to Alex Eubanks. He's a very much a aesthetic based brand, so I like sometimes getting audios from some of his reels, but also some other people to look at is Lucas Cargo. He has some like aesthetic Instagram reel vibes, and he has some decent audios. Some of them are just kind of weird. I mean, like this is an example. Like it's not like bad, but it's like kind of like. I mean, it's cool, but like. It's not quite, I don't know, I wouldn't use it, but some of them are really good. Gotta find the gold in the rocks, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that analogy was, but like this one for an example. This is a good one. I use this audio actually in one of my own reels, and this reel did really good actually, and also with the horizontal video if I'm not mistaken. Was it here? I think it was here. Yeah, I got 6,000 views, and it was using the same audio. Yeah, see. So I just stole the audio from him basically. So the biggest key, guys, is Instagram. Steal other people's audios, okay? It doesn't matter. Nothing's original on Instagram. Trust me, absolutely nothing is. Unless it's literally their voice, then like, and they talking to the camera, then obviously, yeah, it's theirs. But if it's just a song, guys, there is no authenticity in that. So you literally just steal it and there'll be absolutely no problem. So that's my piece of advice for you here. Yeah, like I said, I have many saved up here, but you can also go on to Instagram Reels. I mean, I don't like doing this too much. I mean, there we go. We've already got a good audio. In fact, this audio does really well when it comes to... It's quite popular at the moment. So if you use this, there is a decent guarantee that you might get a lot of views because it's just a popular audio. So, I mean, there you go.
You're the most cinematic.
No. Why can't I scroll?
One more set back off.
I love Andrew so much.
All right, who wants it?
Oh, let's just do this one. Okay, that's a decent audio. That's more like shizzy vibes though, so it depends on if you want the sort of elegant or if you want like the sort of angry vibe. Music sets the vibe, so just whatever vibe you want. I mean, I could use this. It's fine. It's not like you have to stick to one kind of vibe. So I might actually use this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this. So I'm just gonna save that. We'll see that for later. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find something more aesthetic though. That's a little bit angry in my mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find something a little more aesthetic. So we're going to... Also, Elysium Athletic, which is Alex's clothing brand, which is also quite aesthetic based. So he posts some good reels there. No. I'm thinking, so what I have in mind for the kind of video I'm going to create, I want a few shots of me doing exercises, and then I want the drop to be either the drop, or it'll be like a calm part, or like a transition and sort of music vibe to be me posing. Okay, that could work. So what I'm thinking now when I listen to the audio is the BPM rises and then it goes like really fast and then it goes slow again. I'm thinking the really fast part, every time there's a fast beat, is a clip of me doing exercise. So there's a lot of like short transitional clips of me doing exercises until it goes slow again back into me doing posing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm thinking clips. It goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Posing. You know what I mean? Okay, so it's just kind of, you gotta, when you listen to audios, you kind of think of the layout you're gonna make. Because the worst thing is if you have no clue in terms of what the video is actually gonna look like. This was the problem I used to have as well when I used to stick with like hardly any views and they used to look really bad. It's because I didn't have an envisionment every time I listened to an audio. You've got to listen to the beat. And also a big tip, always change the video on the beat. I'm quite liking the sound of the slowed sleepwalker. Step number 2, creating the actual reel. What I do to download Instagram audios is go into a reel like this, for an example. No, that's using. Okay, whatever. Cool. Truck edit, no one cares. So go here. I'll press copy link. And then I'll go to insta.savetube.me. That's the link to the website. You've got options where you can download the audio, the reels, the profile for some reason, photos, videos, stories, anything really. So I just use the reel option, the audio option. Good stuff. Okay, now we're going to change the ratio. And also, by the way, I use CapCut. And now we're going to find clips. What you want to keep in mind when you're filming, especially for posing, is the lighting. That makes a big key. My new thing is to find a bright background, basically have the source of light behind me, and then kind of like overexpose the light behind me so you can see me, but then the background's just blown out white. And that gives a really, I don't know why, but it makes it look really aesthetic compared to just having a downlight, because downlight, yes, it is good lighting, but on camera, it doesn't look that good, and also it's usually quite a dark environment. Sorry, it is quite a dark environment when you just have a top down. So you're most likely gonna get quite a bit of noise in the background. Noise is the little like the purple flickering dots that you get when you film in dark environments. And the only way to really get rid of that is if you have a really expensive camera. And even mine still has noise in dark environments, but that's because I've got a crop sensor. So if I had a full sensor, it would probably be fine. So the trick for pretty much all cameras, the more light there is, the better quality you're going to get. Like this, for an example, to get this dramatic look, what I did is it was a decently sort of dark sort of room. And then it opened outside onto a parking lot that was just next to the beach. And it's very open. And it was a sunny day. It was very bright. So what I did was I stood at the doorway, on the doorway, so I could get the light to like wrap around me, but then still get it kind of dark enough so my body doesn't get blown out with the light. So it's just sort of the edges. So then I bumped up the brightness so you can see my body fine, but then the background was blown out, and that just, for some reason, it's really aesthetic. Because the room was quite dark, I actually had to bump up the light quite a bit, so therefore it got a little bit noisy and the quality wasn't that great. Also another tip is to try not to turn up the exposure too much, because it gets pretty bad. So now let's count the clips, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 clips of me doing exercises, because 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, which is shut up. 5, which is me starting to do the posing. Preferably you want to have a little bit of movement in the clips and a little bit more zoomed out, from my opinion, but depends on what kind of look you're going for. So I really liked the look of this clip of me doing bicep curls. It just looked good. Also mute the top video here, so then you don't have that. Okay, except we're gonna start this reel on the 4 snare drop. So we're gonna leave out the and we're gonna just start it from. Okay, I'm gonna finish editing these clips to the audio. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit every time there's a snare, I'm gonna edit all the me doing all the lifts, and then every time there's a kick after the drop, I'm going to edit me doing the posing, and I will get to you guys when I'm finished because it's just fairly straightforward. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now I am finished doing pretty much all the editing. I think that's all that's going to be done. It's pretty much just the cuts. I mean, it's enough cuts for it to kind of keep it entertaining. It does get a little bit second guessing the playthrough here. I'm thinking maybe it's a bit not quite enough dopamine release, but it's an aesthetic reel. I'm not trying to please dopamine. Another big tip with editing your posing here is to always put your best looking pose first. The thing is with these reels is obviously the whole point is posting you posing. If your pose looks terrible and that's the whole focus of the reel, then obviously the reel's not going to do too well. So those pose, for an example, I didn't expect it when I was actually recording or anything, and I don't often really do this pose at all, but for some reason this pose just looked really good. You can see here this recording, the pose just looked really good for some reason. I'll put that first because that was the best looking pose, and then the lat spread was also really good looking, so I'll put that second, and then my front double bar wasn't too bad as well, so I'll put that there. And this pose, I was trying this pose out for the first time, and also doesn't look too bad, so I'll put that there. There's a few, one or two poses that I left out, like the this one where you put one over like that. I looked a little bit thin on that one. My body composition looks a little bit different to the rest of the poses, so I just kind of left that one out. Choose your strong poses, put them in there. Obviously, I mean, that's what all fitness influencers do. If you see Alex Eubank, how like his reels of him like posing, that I guarantee you that same one where he always goes like that, it'll always be in those reels. So pick your strong pose, and don't stick to just doing that pose, but film like a whole bunch of poses and then use the good ones and put the best ones first. And also here, what's really good with retention is because it's cutting the videos so many times, like because there's so many cuts, it's like, whoa, lots is happening, so they gotta like figure out what's happening, so keep watching, you know what I'm saying? So in fact, I might actually put some sort of transitions on this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm back and I'm finished editing all the transitions. So what I ended up doing is there's actually a transition quite similar to the one we used at the beginning, which is the shake. It's called the inhale. It's got like a little bit of a... I'll show you here. So it's similar. This is what the shake looks like. Just kind of like goes like that, and then the inhale more... It's very similar, except it kind of goes in rather than side. What I actually did was, because there are quite a lot of cuts, it became repetitive using the same transition for each one. So what I did is I actually, for the third one, I used the shake transition again, and then I used the inhale transition once again. So it kind of alternated between the two basically. And because they're very similar transitions, it doesn't look like that doesn't look weird. Like if there were two completely different transitions and I was alternating, that would look weird. But because they're quite similar, it looks alright, and it's not too repetitive. So I'm happy with that. But any other tips I can give you guys? Nothing I can think of right now. But this is the final reel. Okay, so I'm gonna post this on Instagram now on Reels, and I will get back to you guys tomorrow to see how many views we are at and see if this got us a lot of views or if it didn't get us any views.
Several days later.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and it has actually been quite a few days because this video has been taken way longer than I expected to edit. It's just been an absolute pain. So that being said, subscribing would be greatly appreciated. So let's see how many views we are on the Instagram reel. So we got 1,289 views, which is normal for my account pretty much. Everything sits around. In fact, it's slightly lower viewed than the other ones around it. So without a following, you could probably get just shy of 1,000 views because it's a good looking reel. A majority of the views from that reel was from non-followers anyway. So Don't worry about your follower count because it won't affect the views from your reels that much. So with that being said, that's pretty much all I have to give to you guys. I hope you guys got some value from this video, and thank you for watching, and click the like button because you've watched it this far, so you clearly liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.